Hi, my name is Tino.
My name is Maria. This is our little 4-month-old son, Jacob. His nickname is Kobe. And this is our tiny house.
The reason why we moved to the US was because I got a great job offer, and I was super keen on taking the job. But it wasn't just for the job. We were also super keen on exploring Portland and the Pacific Northwest.
Enjoying his end. I think living in a tiny house for us coming over from Germany made sense for a couple of reasons. So first of all, we were just totally drawn by the concept. We were just triggered by trying this crazy thing out, and if not in Portland, Oregon, where else in this world? Secondly, for us it made sense, energy-wise, to kind of save energy, to try, can we live with just a little bit of stuff, with not a lot of things surrounding us. How much do we actually need? We wanted to try that out.
I think Maria was more convinced. Maria was yeah, this is going to work, no question. I was more a little bit let's see. So we were super honest with each other, and we said, okay, we're gonna try it a few months. If it's working, great. If it's not working, well, we have to sell it and get a regular house, apartment, whatever. But lucky us. First few months flew by, and we're still in love, day one. So. Yeah, all good. Easy decision, right decision, and yeah, for Kobe it's great as well, because for him it's actually not a tiny house, because he is so tiny. This is actually huge.
And we are always around. We are never far away from him.
Yeah.
We own our tiny house, but we rent the space that is on the little backyard that we love and made our little paradise within the last 1.5 years. And now I would love to give you a little tour of our tiny house. Okay? See you later. So, welcome to the inside of our tiny house. It, in general, has 200 square feet. It's a 26-foot trailer, I think you would say. And we just entered the house right in the middle of it. So, you enter the house in the middle and you're amidst everything, in the kitchen, which is one of the most important spaces, I think, for us. So, what we like about this a lot is that it's, I think, a good cooking size. We love to cook very freshly and enjoy fresh banana bread, for example, at the moment. It's half eaten, sorry. And what was important to us, I think, is still that we have a little of space to store things. So we have this lazy Susan, as I learned, down here, that holds all the pots and pans and a lot of glasses and so on. So that is important. And then we have a little bit storage down there, but most importantly, storage also for food here, which is a big drawer. Okay, now you know what we are eating. I hope you don't judge us on that. Also, what we like a lot about this house is this wall-mounted shelving that gives us a lot of storage options. We didn't put it in here, but we learned to appreciate it a lot and kind of made it a decorative element of the house, I think. Sorry for pronouncing that wrongly, but I'm German. Anyway, so, okay, what is also very important to us in this house, since we love cooking a lot, is this oven hood. Because otherwise, if you cook here for an hour or two, it smells in the whole house, whether you do onions or whether you meat, which we do from time to time, or whatever you do, it's insanely important to us. So it made it work for us very well, because all the smell goes up otherwise in the bedroom and in the living room, so we appreciate that a lot.
Oh, hey there. I'm Christian from Tiny House Expedition, and I'm as hairy as a Sasquatch. I have to shave this moneymaker every single day, and that's why I use Harry's. Harry's is a personal care brand that delivers a close, comfortable shave at a fair price, as low as $2 per blade refill. And Harry's also supports great causes by giving 1% of their global sales to nonprofit organizations that provide mental health care for those in need. What I love about Harry's razor blades are the razor blades. These are German engineered, and they are the best on the market. I think they're best on the market. Harry's also agrees. They have a 100% money back guarantee on these little suckers. Redeem your trial set for just $3 when you go to harrys.com/tinyhouse. So in your trial set, you'll get a 5-blade razor, a weighted handle, a blade cover, and their foaming shave gel. I usually shave in the shower, but You remember what happened last time. Yeah. And act fast because these are not going to last.
On the other side of the kitchen, we have a pretty small fridge. Like, it's not an American standard size, but we thought it's suitable for a tiny house to have a smaller fridge, and it totally holds everything that we need, with a freezer to store garden veggies or whatever that we have left from the summer. And underneath it, we built a little drawer for some storage. We use it for shoes. You could use it for more food or whatever, but as my husband is like a little sneakerhead, we need some space for shoes. Not too much though. Right next to it is my office, so to say. So we built in a little level so that I could put my university stuff down here. And we also would have breakfast here often. So I like that a lot. I did a lot of my papers here. We built it ourselves. It's not perfect, it's do it yourself. But we like it a lot. And I think it fits the tiny house pretty well. One of the things that we brought over from Germany is this coffee grinder from my great-grandma, actually, and it saves my life every day in the morning because we have a 4-month-old baby. Also, it reminds me of home because my parents have something like this in their kitchen, and always when I would wake up as a teenager, I would hear this sound. We have only one door in this tiny house, which is our barn door that closes the bathroom, which I think is very important to give some privacy. I think you guys will agree. So let's go in here and let's check it out. So what we have is obviously a sink. We decided on a little bit bigger sink because for us it's pretty important to, you know, be comfortable washing hands, washing your face in the evening, brushing teeth and so on. I know that some people would decide for smaller sinks, but for us that was the right decision and we gave up some more space for that. A mirror, obviously. Then we have this little vanity which holds mainly my son's or our son's clothing at the moment. And also, yeah, we decided for cloth diapering, so we have a basket with cloth diapers. And then this space, which we don't maybe use very well at the moment, is actually meant to hold a washing machine. So we decided against the washing machine for several reasons. We are still hitting the laundromat, which is a great decision for us. Might be not a great decision for other people, but theoretically there is a washing machine that fits in there and has all the connections. Full-size shower, not a bathtub. What a bummer, but this was one of the things we decided is okay for us. Anyway, like whenever we can find a bathtub, we for sure use it wherever we go. But this shower is doing very well for us, like in everyday life, because it's full size, it's amazing. Some storage here, not too much. We decided to go for a flushing toilet, which is very important to us. I know that other people are promoting more like composting toilets and so on, and it's great. But for us, to be honest, that was the point where we were a little bit lazy and wanted to go for flushing. So then we have our little diaper changing table up here. We had to be a little bit creative about that, but it works for us. But my son or our son is actually about to outgrow it, so we have to find a different solution for that in a bit, I guess. I think we're just gonna diaper him on the floor because it's gonna be too dangerous. He's moving around so much. And he's so cute doing so. And then the last thing we have here is a little like medicine cabinet. So this mirror opens and you can store a little bit of things in there, which is great. So, oh, and very important thing, I think that's one of the most important features in a bathroom in a tiny house in such a small space because of humidity. We have a vent with automatic humidity detection. So it switches on whenever there's too much humidity in the space. So you can't trick it. It's gonna switch on, and I think that saved us a lot of moldy smell or whatever. So I think, yeah, that made our life a lot easier here in the bathroom or in the tiny house in general. Talking to other people who have like small babies, for them sometimes it's hard to, you know, keep control of their space, to kind of keep it a little bit clean and tidy and just livable, you know, just nice. And for us, for sure, it's work. But it's also kind of easier because it's just smaller. And we appreciate that a lot, not only the two of us as a couple and just like being in love with a tiny house, but also as parents of this little guy here, because we can spend a lot of more time with him and worrying about the household that much.
Doing such a great job, Kobe. The family, they how do I put this without stepping on anyone's toes? But they like the idea, they like the concept, but it was like, but why? Like it's kind of like a vacation trailer in a way, in our parents' eyes, kind of. And it's also interesting because it's a different generation. Like we grew up with a lot of space. Like both of our parents, they have like great houses, big houses, so we always had that space, and now we wanted to like go a little bit smaller and like a little bit more sustainable and all these things, and they were like why? And we thought about it a little bit, and for us now it kind of makes sense, because when they grew up, like there was not a lot of space, so they had to live in kind of like tiny spaces, like small apartments. So for them, like getting a house was kind of like, boom, that's the thing. That's kind of like the dream. You want like as big as possible. The bigger, the better. And for us going the opposite way now, it was just interesting talking to them about it. It was interesting showing them the house for the first time. And they are like 100% on board. But still, in the beginning, they were like, why?
Up those stairs is our bedroom, but before we're gonna show this to you, I want to show you our flying wardrobe, which we are very proud of. We built it ourselves. So here comes all the jackets that we have, and blazers, tricots for sure. It gives us a lot of space for hanging things that we might not need like 5 times in a day, but only 1 time or whatever. So I'm gonna pull it up again. And it's out of the way, which is great. And you gotta use every little space that you have in the tiny house, right? So, which leads me to those little drawers that we have in the stairs. So we have like 4 drawers in all stairs, and all 2 stairs, with a lot of space for clothing or everything that needs to go out of the way. Okay, and then we go upstairs to our bedroom. So here we are in the bedroom, in our little bedroom. We also call it our little cave because it's pretty cozy for us. We find it pretty cozy. First of all, there's more hangers for clothing. We had to kind of remove a couple of them because now that's where our son's bed sits. We enjoy having him very close. So that's why we also turned the pillows. Usually we would sleep the other direction, so facing this way and climb into this space. A little bit, but since we wanted to be a little bit closer to him with our heads and hear him whenever he wakes up in the night, that's a lot nicer. But generally we love the space because it's like, I think 45 inches from the bottom to the ceiling, which means you can sit up comfortably, and that was enough for us. And we love it to be the cave, and we love the rain that hits the roof sometimes in the night here in Oregon, and we enjoy that a lot. It's like camping for us. We decided to move back to Germany. We also decided to move out of this tiny house for this reason, but not because we want to go bigger or something, which we're gonna do, because we're gonna live on a farm with my parents, which is big. But we decided to move back because we want him to grow up with his family. And that's like the most important thing. We love our tiny house, we don't want to leave, but for us it just makes sense to be closer to the family again. And we are very sad about leaving.
It's bittersweet. We're looking forward to be closer to the family. We're looking forward to introducing Kobe to the family, but we're gonna miss this, like, for sure.
Selling this tiny house, which we decided is part of, like, is the hard part of the whole thing. So we would love to hand it over to somebody who might enjoy it as much as we did. Yeah. So last but not least, I would love to show you our living room, which is also our guest room and our office, and which leads us up to those stairs. In those stairs we have storage again, like a lot of drawers, which are very handy, and underneath this space is storage from the outside, which is totally important for us because that's where we can store our camping gear and everything without being in the way every day. So this space holds our sofa, which is also a sleeper sofa, so it folds down to be a bed for two if we want to have guests, which we honestly didn't have a lot during the pandemic, but we had the option to. Then we set up a little desk that Tino's mostly working at from home, which is great. And then also we have a little space for books over there and so on. And obviously a lot of toys for our little one. And also set up a little baby gym down here where he could just like be and play and be a little bit free, besides outside on the grass, which he likes a lot. So he's an outdoor baby, Oregon baby, obviously, but he likes that a lot. And then we also just put on some artwork because we like that a lot, and it gives us also a feeling of, yeah, we are home. We took our favorite artwork with us just a little bit. There's always a little bit space in a tiny house for some artwork. One of the things that also is very important in tiny house, I think, or we think, is an AC that saves us during the winter and during the summer. And it's doing a great job. It's heating up and cooling down the space within minutes, which is, I think, a big upside of small spaces. You don't need a lot of energy. Most of the year it's actually just turned off because we don't need it a lot. But if we need it, it's there, which is great. And then also, I think one thing that was very important to us is this window that we had them at. It wasn't there when we bought the tiny house, but it was actually, this wall was meant to hold a huge TV, and we decided not to have a TV. So we had them at this window, and since then we call it the tree TV, because whenever you look outside, there's a lot of trees, but that happens often in Oregon. So while we are here, we observe that tiny house is also becoming a thing in Germany for several reasons. I think people are just curious about the concept. People want to try things out. People are also like want to downsize and be more sustainable and so on. And for sure, there's also thoughts about financial reasons to go tiny. I think, like in the US, the housing market is going crazy in some cities in Germany as well. Like Berlin, for example, used to be where we actually lived, used to be like a very cheap city to live. And now you can, like the housing prices or like prices to own an apartment are like basically what there are here in Portland. So it's not cheap. And I think also for those reasons, people are also thinking about going tiny. But it's hard for sure to compare in detail because I think there is still a lot of land that you can like purchase in Germany without like putting down a lot of money. So it's hard to compare those housing markets, I would say. But there's similarities, definitely.
I think one thing that's really interesting for us, like living in the US now and just walking around the neighborhood, is like houses are changing owners like so often. Like every day you walk around the neighborhood and there's like another like sale sign. And I think in Germany, on average, you only own 1.2 houses or something. So basically in Germany, if you decide on a spot and you build your house or you buy your house, that's it. Like you're gonna stay. That's just the German way.
You put all your love in it, all your energy.
And over here, I think like people changing locations, like moving from town to town, state to state so often, and changing houses as well, that like if you look it up on the internet, like it's 7 point something. Like people will own over 7 different houses like throughout their lives. So the tiny house movement, and that it's starting or that it started over here in the US makes perfect sense to me, right? In Germany, you probably do not make the decision like I'm gonna go tiny and I'm gonna live in this, even if I have 10 kids, for the rest of my life. But over here, because it's kind of like part of the plan, I probably will sell it at some point. So yeah, it just makes super sense to us that it's happening in the US, and we're just happy to be a part of it here in the US. And who knows, maybe we are gonna go back to Germany and we're gonna be the tiny house experts now. I don't know.
At least we're gonna promote it.
Yeah, for sure we're gonna promote it because it's great. We love it, right?
Thank you for watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Patreon for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
all right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.